Morning. Actually, it's afternoon. It is 12:39 according to my phone. And boy, I am excited about today. I tell you, I am truly excited for a few reasons. Now, yesterday on my live stream, I had told you that I had felt that maybe the Lord was telling me to just walk in the evening. But last night, I caught hold of a YouTuber that I used to watch on occasion some years ago by the name of Real Tennyson. Now, Tennyson is a fairly fit man, and he's always doing challenges to push himself and to see just how fit he was. And on the episode that I caught last night, like I said, it was a long time ago that I'd watched him. So when I caught it last night, he looked pretty buff and everything. But he went to what is called a fat farm. And they done all kinds of different assessments to see how much body fat he had, how well his breathing was, how fit he was running on a treadmill with an oxygen mask and all that. And it looked a little decent for him, seeing that he was a more fit person. But one of the things that the Fat Farm done at this particular place that he went to, they had a nutritionist, dietitian, chef that fixed all the meals, and the meals looked great. Uh, one meal that the chef had made had something like a thick steak, almost looked like a filet mignon, and some shrimp and boiled baby potatoes. Looked great, you know. And so at, they required them to get up early, and they got started around 5 o'clock and would go to a trail and would hike. And there was this one particular person that was hiking with Real, and Real asked him, "How long have you been here?" The man said, 3 weeks. "Have you gotten any results?" "I've lost 15 pounds and 18, I don't know if he said 18%. I think he was meaning 18% fat. But anyway, in the 3 weeks that he had been there, he had achieved some. And that was such an encouragement to me to see this overweight man, because he was clearly around 300, and him hiking this trail. And this trail wasn't any easy flat trail. This went up a hillside. And here's Real, who is a fit man, hiking up that trail, and he's huffing and puffing. He's saying he's already hungry and he's exhausted, but yet there's these larger people who's hiking up this hill, and it's almost like warm butter to them. And watching that, I felt the Lord encouraging me to continue with the routine that I've been doing, to walk in the morning, to walk in the evening. And then there was something else that they done at the Fat Farm that the Lord pointed out to me that I needed to make sure to do. They had a gym, And before they even worked out on the equipment, the participants were required to do good stretching. And then they were required to stretch some more even after the routines. And that's when I realized that the one key component, the one key thing that I was failing to do was to stretch before and after. And so I felt a new motivation, and I just knew that God was letting me see this through a fit man at a fat farm for me to realize where I was missing it and how I could do better. So this morning I put in the principle and I did my strength training, 10 count, both planks and push-up. And then I done stretching. And I ran on ahead and I did my walk. And by the time I was just about finished, I was kind of feeling it in my hips. But other than that, it wasn't anything like it was Tuesday. Or even how it was Monday. There was a big difference. So as soon as I got back home, while I was waiting for the cats to get done eating, I done some more stretching on the major areas that I was feeling the ache so that I would have flexibility. And sure enough, I don't feel stiff. I'm not in pain. Even sitting and eating my meal, when I got up, I was fine. And that made me feel so good. Um, my meal this morning was a sausage patty on a bagel with cream cheese. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Those bagels, the product that we get is Thomas, and it reads that they have 10 grams of protein per whole bagel. And then, of course, you know that pork sausage would have a decent amount of protein. And cheese products have protein. And so does other dairy products. So I also had me some Greek yogurt. And I'm drinking my coffee. And sure enough, with my meal this morning, which actually was, well, I hadn't, yeah, it was before noon when I got to break my fast. I had a pretty high protein meal. And I'm going to tell you something. Pork sausage on a cream cheese bagel is delicious. I'm serious. It's like, out of this world. Yeah. Oh, well. Isn't much I could say. Um, that's how it happens sometimes. But anyway, so I really feel good about this morning, and I'm so glad that I ran on ahead and went for it. And the Lord proved to me that doing it the proper way, that it would work. And so I'm very happy about that. Now, for the best thing of all that I was so excited to share with all of you. is this morning I came in at 220.1. Yesterday, which was Thursday, and Wednesday, I came in at 221.0. Both Wednesday and yesterday, Thursday. But today, I came in at 220.1. 1 ounce of being 219 pounds. 1 ounce. And I am so excited about that. And April's not up yet. It is looking more and more promising that I am going to make my goal of 200 pounds by June 1st. I'm so tickled about this. And today was a great time to walk. Like now the skies, they look a little, they're not crystal clear blue, but they're clear nonetheless. But this morning it was foggy, cool, comfortable, and I didn't get up at 7 o'clock like I'd wanted to, but I still went for it regardless of the time it was. When I got out the door, it was just the same as 9 o'clock. So I went for it anyway. I was supposed to mow the lawn this morning. Well, last night as I was praying before bed, I told the Lord, I said, I really want to go walking tomorrow morning. I'm so encouraged to go walking tomorrow morning. I'll just mow the grass Saturday. Because, I don't have anything planned for Saturday. I don't have plans of walking in the morning or anything. So Saturday I'll be able to do the lawn. Tomorrow morning I'll get the lawn done. And not to mention where it stormed so bad yesterday. I mean, it was bad. On one of the streets further out in the county, we've got lots of taco places around here. And one of the taco restaurants, the roof was caved in from the storm. So it was a pretty good rain yesterday. So I was also wanting to make sure that the ground dried up decently before I would mow it. Because if you try to mow the lawn when the ground is still decently wet, you can actually clog up your blades, and then you can't run your motor. It stops the motor dead in its tracks. So at least this way, because the sun is out now, so the ground will be good and dry as long as we don't get no more rain. And I'll be able to mow the grass tomorrow, and they'll be good. And then tomorrow evening, I will do my evening walk. So that'll work out good too. When I mow the grass, that usually gives me around 7,500 steps, which in reality is a decent amount of stepping, if you think about it, really. If I know correctly, I think I remember hearing it right. Topper man, the way you're sitting, buddy, makes it look like you're fat. You're not fat. The way he was sitting made it look like he had a huge belly. Anyway, if I remember correctly, this plot of land's about a half acre. If I know correctly, I could be absolutely wrong, but nonetheless, it's a good piece for me to mow, and so it's definitely a workout. I'm blessed not to have all that much hill to have to do. It's just slight slopes and everything. Still can wear you out though if you don't get it started early enough. If you see a little bit of a fuzziness, that ear that just popped up, that's Topper Man. He's almost bombing. Almost. There's his tail. He's a good little boy. He's a good rider, too. He doesn't let any critters in the house. If they get in the house, they're dead. They're dead. You wouldn't believe how many critters I have had to sack up and throw away because he made sure that they weren't alive anymore. But I'm grateful for that because we have a creek, more like a bayou, but it's a creek. And we're actually lucky. We don't have river rats, but they're rats nonetheless. And there's all kinds of cats that comes around this area. Whole lot of cats. He's checking you out. And anyway, him and all the other cats around here really keeps the population down. So Catherine would hunt, but she, like I said, she's an indoor cat, and she doesn't have her front claws. She was declawed sometime or another before we ever got her. So, but she's real good at catching house flies. She's great at it. Anyway, my goodness, he's giving you all kinds of loving. He's always in a good mood. I got him at 6 weeks old. He's a good boy. Anyway, so yes, I am greatly motivated and encouraged for um for this challenge and everything, and with the Lord directing me. Oops. With the Lord directing me and how to eat and what to do for my exercise and everything, I think for the first time, this is like the easiest. Um, I mean, I've done it easy before when I was walking all day in the house and doing intermittent fasting. The weight was just melting off. But that was short lived. I had come up with that particular plan myself. I'd done that myself. But for this, I am completely and totally relying on the Lord for it. And I'm constantly consulting Him when I feel troubled about what I'm trying to do or if I feel discouraged. And He's working with me on it, and it's making such a difference. The word says not to grow weary in well doing. And what I had figured out was I was trying to find shortcuts. I was trying to figure out shortcuts. And sadly, and I had to repent about it, I was assuming, thinking, believing that the Lord was telling me to do one thing. And that was just me trying to conjure up ways that I could be lazy and get away with so little. And God's ways are simple. They're very simple. But anytime that you want something bad enough, it requires an effort and sacrifice. And I really want to lose this weight. I really want to have energy. I really want to be toned and fit. And so therefore I'm going to have to sacrifice my time, my energy, my strength in order to get better. I can't keep coming up with excuses that keeps dropping me to less and less effort to do anything at all. I had made the goal to reach 50,000 steps in 30 days. And me knowing that the temperatures are getting hotter, I definitely know that I couldn't do that. At least not at this time, right? And with me coming close to the heat attack because I was pushing too hard Monday last week, that's one thing. That's me knowing that I can't. Not right now. But what I was talking about yesterday, that was just shortening me. That wasn't increasing or allowing me a chance to get stronger. That was just allowing me a chance to get lazy and weak. And that's what got me in trouble to begin with. And all these other times when I had made the effort to lose the weight and I started out losing the weight just fine, but then I started making excuses and doing less and eating more, sitting more, just to the point that, like, in my crazy brain, my crazy, crazy, crazy brain, I thought I was broken. Just this year, at the start of the year in January, and a whole lot of time last year in 24. I thought I was broken. I thought I wasn't able to lose weight anymore. I mean, just in my appointment with my doctor was February, and I told him that I was doing everything I could to lose the weight, and it wasn't coming off. And he told me that he had just different supplements that he could prescribe to me, but they were expensive. And then he told me that they had a dietitian that was in one day every week and that it would cost the same to see the dietitian as it would for his office visit. And, I told him, I said, well, I don't have money to come in like that every week. But the thing is, like, January, I started out, I was close to 235, just the same as. And so by February, when I saw my doctor, I was already at 226 on my home scale, and his scale showed me at 229. And here I am boo-hooing to him that I felt like I couldn't lose the weight, that I was making effort and I couldn't lose the weight. Here, like I was almost already around about 10 pounds down, but I'm really glad that he had told me that the scripts would have been expensive, because I have always took pride, if you will, in the fact that I would try to lose the weight without chemicals. I don't want to use weight loss medication. because, yeah, you lose the weight on it, or at least some people do. But then if you don't take it for life, you gain it all back. And for one, I don't have that kind of money. For two, I don't want to become dependent on it. And for three, I don't want to lose the weight just to gain it back. So, I'd rather lose the weight naturally and stop being so darn lazy and just keep up with it for maintenance. And I am very happy that I didn't get a prescription for diet medication. Very happy. Um, because now I am 220.1, lacking 1 ounce of being 219, and I have lost approximately 15 pounds since January. But I've also had ups and downs. I wasn't really walking. I was using the weather as an excuse for when you really can bundle up. But I have to tell you, the Texas wind is pretty hard on the face, especially when it's cold out. But I've got hooded jackets, and the Lord reminded me of that. So, He's not letting me have any excuses this time. Every time I make an excuse, He counteracts it with, you know. So that is one reason why I know that this time I'm going to have success. Not to mention, I have got this deep gut feeling that this time it's going to go all the way, and it's going to be permanent. And and I had noticed something last night. I've noticed something. Like for yesterday's meal, I had already shared with Jens on the live stream that I just had a little bit of coffee and some yogurt. Well, I got hungry again shortly after the live stream, so I fixed myself some fish sticks and onion rings. And then for my main meal, I had another bottom round flat steak and my teriyaki beef noodle tray. And that was it. And then I had decided that like I was wanting some chocolate. So I ran over to DG and I got myself a theater box of M&Ms and a Dollar General candy bar, salted caramel. They're pretty good. They come pretty close to tasting just like a Heath bar, just about. And so I ate the candy bar, but I haven't opened my M&Ms. I had also bought some chips for the house, and I didn't even think anything about the chips last night when I got back. And I realized I really don't have an obsession with food like I once did. There was one time, like, it was so bad in my younger years. I would constantly think about eating this and eating that and that and this and this and that. I mean, it was just, and I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to that, especially any of you who are overweight, and you can really, uh, You can really attest to this, that that's practically the only thing on your mind. What are you going to eat next? Out of Ever since I had left my parents' house, I had more or less obsessed over food. And for the first time in over 30 years, it is not a big issue. Callie's been digging in the dirt. She's got mud all in her paw. Oh, Callie. My Callie. You got nasty on your paw, baby. So I have to say, ooh, that is very muddy. Very, very sticky muddy. Nasty, nasty. Ew. I wish you dogs would clean your paws. Anyway, um, well, I'm going to have to try to clean her paws somehow. Yeah. Um, I love how it's turning out this time. I'm more sure of myself. I'm more sure about what I'm doing. And every time I get on the scales and I see myself less, I am that much more encouraged to keep going. And it tells me I'm on the right track. And I'm not stumbling so much anymore as trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? Like, I got to do this, I got to do that. And especially after watching that video last night, and she just moved you a little bit. I'm sorry about that. um, After watching that video last night, I realized that the best thing for me to do is what I've been doing, and to add the stretches before and after. And with the way I'm feeling right now physically, there's no doubt in my mind that, yeah, that was the key component. So I look forward to my walk tonight now, because I don't know, it's almost like that ta-da moment, like that was the key all along. But really, the true major key was just getting the Lord involved and consulting Him about everything and letting Him guide me. That has been the major key of all. I I would almost venture to say that if I hadn't been relying on Him more to guide me in this, I would be back up to around 2:30 all over again. And there was that point. Um, I had actually gotten back up into the 2:30s after trying to lose. And I had just slipped up bad. But it was that particular night that I had done that. And before I went to bed in my prayer, I broke down bawling, begging God to please show me what I needed to do. And that's when it changed. That's when it absolutely changed. And then it seemed like I was on an up and down yo-yo plateau where I would be 227, then 225, 227, then 225, and like hanging on that until I started myself on the 50K challenge. And that's almost like when I broke that. And since then, more or less, it's been just a downhill run, save the 2 weeks that I had to kind of take the hiatus for the different reasons. And that, like the lowest I'd seen then was 220.9. And then I jumped right back up to 224.9 just because those 2 weeks. So what I'm going to do, of course, I already know not to walk all day long in the heat. That's the one thing, make sure, do not do. And then for any other personal reasons, just push through it and do it. And don't allow too much excuse for that. And just work through it. So I'm learning. I'm learning what I should have done to begin with and what I shouldn't have done from the beginning. And I am really feeling that now I'm learning my body. I'm learning my body and what works. And I found out, and I was talking to the Lord this morning in my walk. I finally realized I'm not broken. I am not broken. I am able to lose this weight. I'm not broken. And that is such a burden lifting relief, because I honestly thought that I was broken and I would be 227 forever. But I'm not broken. I'm not broken. And that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. So, yeah. Anyway, tonight I will give you my conclusion with the screenshots of my workout and everything. And then tomorrow, like I said, I'm going to be mowing the grass tomorrow morning. Then I'll do my evening walk tomorrow evening. And I will give you a short video tomorrow evening with a screenshot of my steps and all that. And Sunday is rest. And then Monday I'll get back at it and I will attempt to, I'll see whether or not to add a little extra to it. I may be able to, especially seeing now that stretching is key. So we've got pollen flying around there. Anyway, we'll see what comes Monday if I add a little bit to the routine or not. But at least I know that I'm on the right track. So, yep, be looking for my video tonight with my conclusion and the screenshots. And there won't be a live stream tomorrow, but there will be an evening video for yins to catch. So, anyway, I love yins and I appreciate yins, and thank you so much for putting up with me, because I know I don't show all this interesting stuff that other YouTubers and video creators do. But I'm being me. I'm just simply being me. I believe I did bring in a pollen. I wouldn't have seen it. Goodness gracious. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm just being me, and I'm giving you the honest facts, the honest truth of what I'm going through, my ups, my downs, my struggles, my victories. Man, so as I was saying, I greatly appreciate you. I honestly do. And I thank you so, so very much. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the video tonight with the screenshots. And I will see you tonight. You all have a great rest of your day.